What's up, everybody? I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. This is kind of a merge between our Beyond the Grave series and Teaching Tactics. We're going to look at a clip where I died, and then we're going to look at a clip where I used what I learned there and completely flipped it around and was able to win that fight using what I learned before. So I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And once again, I'm super excited to announce that we have merch finally. We've got hoodies, t-shirts, hats, all sorts of stuff. I'm super pumped about it. So those links will be down below as well. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So this video, we're talking about cover, and not just, of course, when to use cover or that you should be using cover, but how to, when you're in the middle of a fight, be like moving into cover and moving in and out of cover while you're fighting to make sure that you're not going to get clipped by a stray shot or something like that. So we'll start by taking a look at the clip where I died. We'll kind of break it down, and then we'll take a look at how I used these strategies and won a fight. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first clip.
Skybridge. We can push Skybridge.
We could, if we want to, we can push.
That's them?
Yeah, that's them. We can push Skybridge while they're in a fight, and then pull that aggro, and then you can push over to first floor of west if you want. Fine with.
It sounds like they're on second floor. If we push, they're gonna kill us.
Freaking YOLO, dude.
YOLO. He's actually behind admin now. He killed me.
I'm dead. Okay, so of course there's some stuff, some real low-hanging fruit there. You know what I mean? We were joking around that, of course, like, YOLO across Skybridge. If there's somebody's on second, if we push across, we'll die. We were doing three-mans, and I don't do three-mans or squads very often. And so when we do, especially we're in a situation where none of us know exactly what we should be doing, it's hard to communicate where everybody is, what we're doing, if you're going to separate, how you're going to do that. So I kind of was like, hey, even if I die, I'm just going to make a move. I'm either going to get a kill, or we're going to get more information that you guys can do something with, because it's hard to kind of figure out what to do when you're playing with a squad. So we were like, hey, we know there's people over there. We're trying to figure out how to get from one side to the other. I was talking about how I think the enemy's in a fight. So Skybridge, which is normally a really dangerous push, is we can make this push now because they're distracted. If they're fighting another squad, I can at least get to cover. And as much as it seemed like my plan failed, it worked. I failed. So I made it across all the way. At this point, I'm basically safe. I've made it across Skybridge. And instead of, this is what we're talking about, instead of using this giant cover or this room right here as cover, I'm kind of over positioned a little bit. I'm not really using this as much cover as I could. I could be leaning out of it. But the main thing is that I basically just kind of stand there and take the shots. It's hard to hear footsteps when you have so many teammates. It's always hard to figure out if that's their footsteps or if those are my footsteps or if those are an enemy's footsteps or your teammates' footsteps. It's hard to do that. So I think we do hear this guy run up a little bit, but I did a few things right. I was ADS right where he was going to peek. I was using this a little bit cover, but what I've learned from playing Tarkov a lot is that a lot of people that are really successful, I kind of picked this up watching others as well, is that when something like this happens and when somebody peeks a corner, instead of just kind of like standing here and taking the fight, as soon as they see an enemy, they start firing and moving into cover while they're firing. Because with the netcode and all the sorts of stuff that's going on in Tarkov, you never really know if you're going to connect your shot, if he's going to connect his shot. And I think that comes down to it. Even with perfect netcode, you're not 100% sure you're going to hit their shot, and there's always a chance in Tarkov that somebody gets a lucky shot on you. So you're minimizing the chance of that, but you're still giving yourself the opportunity to get the kill by as soon as you start shooting, just like moving into cover. And then that way you can kind of assess, did you kill him? Did you hear a death sound? Can you get a nade in there? Is he pushing? And you can kind of like get your bearings for a second attack or defense if you need to. But I got a little overconfident in the fact that I was holding the angle. My comms were, my teammate was actually identifying probably who this guy was fighting, somebody out the back of admin. So that's like way far to my right based on where I'm standing. So it's hard to kind of separate that. I know there's somebody out far to my right. Is there somebody in front of me? It's hard to identify. And I got a little overconfident here. I do feel like I hit a good shot. Like this looks like right about where his head is, but the muzzle flash of the SA-58 is really bright. So as soon as you kind of open fire, it's actually really hard to tell where they're going. It kind of felt like I got a good shot, but he got a good shot as well. He probably was doing the same thing. He peeked that corner, head height, he was ADS'd, he was ready to go, and was able to eliminate me there. Now we'll take a look at another clip, also on Shoreline, where I use movement while I'm shooting and while movement into cover to make sure that I kind of live through fights that I wouldn't have otherwise lived through. So let's take a look at that clip. Got them both. So hopefully you kind of saw what I was talking about there. Now this ended up being a super fun fight. It was ended up totally being a 3-man. I was duoing and my duo died. So I was like, okay, let's try and eliminate these last 2 people. So we can kind of break this fight down on its own. I was looting a dead body here to try and find grenades because I knew that there were 2 enemies at this point. The background of this clip is I had killed the guy I just looted. I knew there were 2 enemies. I knew there was one left in this room, and the room that's right in front of this little bookshelf here, there was somebody there as well. So I knew there were 2. I was trying to kind of like keep an eye on both. I wanted to see if I could sneak a grenade in there because I was trying to get one of them to make a move because you don't ever want to be fighting 2 people at once. So I was trying to get one of them to make a move, maybe get one with a nade, just try and do something before a third party came or something like that. So I tried to sneak a grenade in there. But what we were talking about with the other clip is how I handled this corner here. So I threw a grenade and I knew that he threw one back. I peeked the corner. I'm kind of trying to keep eyes on both doors because I don't know where they are. I see this guy peek. And once again, I'm assuming they know they're both focused on me and I'm focused on 2 people. So when I see this guy, instead of reacting, trying to acquire a target and try to like just kind of stand my ground and get the kill, I figure he's already peeking ADS. He knows where I am because he can hear my footsteps and he heard me throw the grenade. So I kind of shoot at him, but I'm immediately moved back into cover instead of kind of standing my ground. And you can see he hit me a few times, but I'm alive. And then I re-peek the corner and do the same thing. I'm hoping that he's going to be holding the exact same corner that he was. I peek and he's not there, but at least I'm ready for him. And I see him peek out once again. I was able to, in this situation, identify something that surprised me. He peeked much wider this time. My aim is actually where he was and how he peeked it before, but he peeked wider. So instead of trying to compensate, instead of trying to, once again, stand my ground and get the kill, I move into cover, but while I'm shooting, I open fire, and you can see I shoot the wall in front of me a bunch. And I don't know what you'd call that tactic or maneuver, but I've noticed a lot of people that I watch, that I look up to in the game using this, and it's something that's helped me in fights like this, where you're giving yourself both options, basically. You're not just choosing to get away from the fight and lower your weapon and run away, but you're also not standing still, just trying to get the kill. You're opening fire, you're trying to do damage, suppress them, or even get a really lucky headshot and get the kill while you're moving into a place that gives you the ability to have the upper hand again. So the second time he peeks, I bail, but I still throw some shots at him. And then that gave me the ability to rotate, get a different angle, and they both pushed. And that's actually another benefit of this, is that people like to counter aggression. So if you're moving behind cover, if you're like retreating from the fight, but while shooting, you can kind of trick them into thinking that you want to be aggressive. And they might think that you're going for a reload, going for something, and they both push. They both push the corner, and I was able to relocate to a place where I felt like I was in a dark area and I had a really tight angle on these guys through these hallways, and I was able to eliminate both of them really, really quickly. So this is that's kind of what we were talking about with the first clip, is it's not just about having cover near you. It's not just about retreating from fights. Sometimes you can kind of do both. Give yourself the opportunity for a lucky headshot, maybe level the playing field out a little bit, but while moving into cover, using movement is really key in Escape from Tarkov. Movement is kind of everything. When you're standing still, you're just too easy of a target. In big open maps, it's an easy way to get sniped. Even in close hallways like this, like holding angles oftentimes isn't the play unless you can get them to push. If you can get them to run, if you can get them to lower their weapons, if you can get them confused on where you are, then holding an angle just like we did here at the end can net you the victory. But when you're in an all-out brawl, when everybody kind of knows where everybody is, just standing still holding angles is oftentimes a way to get you killed. So this was something that I noticed. This was something that I was trying to implement in some of my fights recently, and how you can use movement into cover to kind of give you a little bit of an edge and try to be aggressive and defensive at the same time. So hopefully this is maybe you do this all the time, but you don't really realize it. Or maybe you're wondering why you're dying in PvP when you feel like you have the upper hand because you're holding an angle. Maybe this is a new strategy for you to try. So as always, I hope videos like this of me breaking down gameplay, whether we lived or died, is valuable and beneficial to you as a player. I encourage you to do the same. But if you can't, I hope that these videos help. So hopefully you can try this out and maybe win a few more fights in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out the video. If you enjoyed the video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. That stuff really, really helps me out. Like we said before, I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. We've got brand new merch, which I'm super excited about. And our Discord, that link is down below as well. That's an awesome place to be. We've got a few thousand people, Tarkov veterans, all the way to Tarkov new players. So that's a great place to be. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.